Good morning, students. I welcome you all to yet another session of 10th Standard Biology. Now, students, today we will be doing lesson number 8, How Do Organisms Reproduce, part 5. Now, I'll take a quick recap of what was done in the previous session. Students, in the previous session, we studied about the sexual reproduction in case of plants. We studied that the flower is the reproductive part of the plant. We studied about the parts of the flower as calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Then we studied about the individual structures of calyx as sepals, corolla as petals, androecium stamens and gynoecium as carpels. Correct? At the same time, we studied about pollination, that is self-pollination and cross-pollination. After pollination, we went to study what is meant by fertilization, that is the union of the male gamete with the female gamete, which results in the formation of zygote. Later on, students, we went to study about the post-fertilization changes. The post-fertilization changes are the changes which takes place after fertilization. We learned that the ovule gets converted to form a seed, ovary gets converted to form a fruit. We studied that the sepals, the corolla, the stigma, the style, as well as the stamen and the anther, they shrivel and they fall off. After the fertilization, only the ovary will be retained and the ovary will be getting converted to fruit. So this is what we had done in the previous session. So students, in today's session, we are going to study about sexual reproduction in case of human beings. And in sexual reproduction in case of human beings, today we will study about the male reproductive system. And we will study the parts of the male reproductive system. So let's proceed ahead with the male reproductive system. Now I will just explain you with the help of the diagram. And after I explain you with the help of the diagram, then we will see the reading part. Okay. Now, students here, now this is the picture of the male reproductive system. Now, the male reproductive system consists of the following parts. Like first I will introduce you to the parts and then deal individually with the parts. Now, like that of the testis. Now, the testis is present in a sac-like structure which is called as the scrotum. Now, the testis is the primary sex organ. An identity of a male is the presence of a testis. It determines the sex of an individual. That's why you call it as a primary sex organ. Now, can you see from the base of the testis there is a tube-like structure which is called as a vas deferens. Can you see this vas deferens here? Yes. Now, you can see the vas deferens is moving upward. And here you can see that the vas deferens slowly unites with the urethra, and it is through the urethra the semen will be released out. Now, what is semen? The semen is called as a reproductive fluid. Semen is called as a reproductive fluid. We will be studying about each part excuse me. We will be studying about each part in detail. Okay, so we saw what is the testis, we saw the scrotum, that is a bag-like structure in which the testis is present. We saw what is the vas deferens, we saw how the vas deferens is moving upward, and we saw that how it is coming out through the organ which is called as the penis. We will study even the function of the penis. That individually when I teach you will understand it better. Okay, now let us start with the first part, and in the first part we are going to study about testis. Now, regarding the testis, as I told you, the testis is a primary sex organ. It determines the sex of an individual, whether it is a male or a female. So, that's why you say it is a primary sex organ. Now, you know the testis is present outside the abdomen. Now, what is an abdomen? Abdomen is a part of the body where the stomach, lower part of the stomach and the intestine is present. That region is called as the abdomen. Now, when you tell about the lower part of the stomach or you speak about the intestine, all structures are present inside the abdomen. Now, as far as the testes are concerned, the testis is present outside the abdomen in a bag-like structure or a sac-like structure which is called as the scrotum. This part is called as the scrotum. I just to draw the scrotum and show you. This part is the scrotum, and here this is the testis which is present. Now, why is the testis present extra abdominally? Now the testis is present extra-abdominally in a bag-like structure or a sac-like structure which is called as a scrotum, because for the formation of the sperm we require a body temperature lower than that of 37 degrees Celsius. Now, our body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. In this constant 37 degrees Celsius, there cannot be production of sperm. Production of sperm requires a temperature lower than our body temperature. So, what nature has done is, nature has pushed the testis outside the abdomen so that it is not maintained in a constant 37 degrees Celsius. Okay, I hope students you have understood testis as a reproductive organ as well as scrotum. Now in case of human being, there is a pair of testes, the right testis and the left testis. Here we are taking a lateral view, side view. We are taking a lateral view, side view of the male reproductive system. So you are seeing only one testis, the other testis will be present on the other side. Okay. Now let's do the reading part. Male reproductive system, testis. There are a pair of testes in human beings. Testis is singular, testes is plural. The testes are present outside the abdomen in a bag or a sac-like structure called as the scrotum. This helps in maintaining the temperature of the testis below the body temperature, which is necessary for the optimum is maximum production of sperm, because the function of the testis is to produce the sperm, which we will study in the next slide. Okay. Yeah. Now next we will study about the function of the testis. The testis primarily, as I told you, it is a primary sex organ. So testis is responsible for the production of the male gamete, and the male gamete is called as the sperm. Okay. At the same time, which is the second function of the testis is responsible for the production of the male hormone called as testosterone. The testosterone controls the secondary sexual characters in case of males. This will be the secondary sexual characters. Okay. So testis will help in the production of sperms. At the same time, 1 minute. Excuse me. At the same time, the testis is responsible for the production of the male hormone called as testosterone, which controls the secondary sexual characters in male. Now, which are the secondary sexual characters in male? The secondary sexual characters in male includes the growth of mustache, the growth of beard, the change of sound, which is called as a cracking of the sound, which happens at the time of puberty. All these characters are called as the secondary sexual characters. These secondary sexual characters are controlled by a hormone which is called as testosterone, and the testosterone is produced by the testis. Okay. Now let's go to the next part. Students, you can see this, the next part we are going to study about vas deferens. Can you see, students, from the base of the testis, lower part of the testis, there arises a narrow muscular duct. This narrow muscular duct is called as a vas deferens. This vas deferens is collecting the sperm from the testis and transporting it all the way to the urethra. Can you see this urethra here? It is coming and it is joining with the urethra, because it is the vas deferens which will help in the transport of sperms from the testis to the urethra to the outside. Okay. So now let us do the reading part for vas deferens. Yeah. Vas deferens. The vas deferens is a narrow duct which will help in the transport of sperms from the testis to the urethra. So you have seen vas deferens and you have seen how it takes a turn and how it is transporting it to the urethra. Now we will study about urethra. Now students, as far as the males are concerned, urethra is a part of the excretory system as well as the reproductive system. And we will see how it is a part of the excretory system and the reproductive system. For that, let us see the urethra here. Students, this is the urinary bladder. Now all of you know the function of the urinary bladder. It help in the temporary storage of urine. So this is the urinary bladder. Okay. Now you know that this is the vas deferens. It is going upward and it is coming here. Can you see the vas deferens is uniting with the urethra over here? Can you see both of them are uniting here? I will just remove this off here. Yeah. Can you see this part? Can you see it is appearing like a V-shaped structure? A part of the vas deferens is uniting with the part which is coming out from the urinary bladder. Okay, so here the vas deferens and this urinary connection from the urinary bladder, that is a urethra, both of them are uniting and it is opening through the penis. Here it is coming out. So here the urethra will help in the excretion of urine. At the same time, it will help in the transport of sperm. So here urethra is playing a dual role. It is playing a role in excretion of urine. At the same time, it is helping in the process of reproduction by helping in the transport or the release of sperm to the outside. Okay, so here the male reproductive system is also called as the male urinogenital system. Urino because it is related to urine and genital because it is related to the reproductive system. So that is regarding the urethra. So let's look into the urethra part. Let's do the reading part. Yeah. Urethra. It is the opening of the urinary bladder to the outside. I told you it is a V-shaped structure. From the urinary bladder, it is opening and it is coming out. At the same time, it is taking a connection from the vas deferens. So it is the opening of the urinary bladder to the outside. In case of males, the urethra is long and passes through the penis. In males, the urethra is a common passage for semen and urine. We will see in the next slide what is semen. Okay. I will just tell you once again about this part. Here, this is the part vas deferens which is coming. Can you see it is joining with the urethra which is coming from the urinary bladder. This here it is joining and you can see the way it is passing to the penis. So it is coming like this, a Y-shaped structure, and then it is opening outside to the outside. Now let's move on to the next slide. Students, in the next slide we are going to study about semen. So I just explained to you what is semen. Yeah. So we have completed with testis. We are completed with scrotum. Now all of you know that. We are completed with vas deferens. Correct. You know about the urinary bladder. I told you. We have completed with urethra. Now we have two structures here. One is the seminal vesicle and the other is a prostate gland. Now what is a seminal vesicle? Seminal vesicle is a gland. And you can and the prostate gland, and it's written prostate gland, both of them are glands and they release out secretion, and the secretions which are produced collectively from the seminal vesicle and prostate gland, collective term for it is called as the semen. The semen is also called as a reproductive fluid. It is inside the semen that we get the sperms. The semen contains what you know, the sperms. Because the semen contains sperms, it is called as a reproductive fluid. The semen, which is produced by the seminal vesicle and the prostate gland, provides nourishment to the sperms so that the sperms can have the ability to locomote, because it has to reach the female reproductive system. That we will study in the female reproductive system, how it is going to locomote and how it will reach near the egg. Okay, so let's look into the semen part here, reproductive fluid. Semen, seminal vesicle and prostate gland. We are dealing with these two glands. The male reproductive fluid is called as the semen. The semen is produced by two glands, namely the seminal vesicle and prostate gland. The semen provides nourishment to the sperms. And with that nourishment, it will increase its ability to be motile or mobile and tries to reach the egg and fertilize the egg. Okay. Now let us study about the penis, which is the organ which will help in reproduction. Okay. So here This is the penis. So this organ is called as the penis. This much part is called as the penis. Okay. Now you can see, students, the urethra is passing through the penis. So penis is the organ through which the sperm will be introduced into the female's body. And the penis is the organ which will help in the transportation of the sperm from the male's body to that of the female's body. Penis is a muscular organ. Okay, so now let us see here the writing part for it. Yeah, penis, it is a muscular organ which helps in the transfer of sperm into the female reproductive tract. And once it reaches, sperm reaches the female reproductive tract, the sperm has to swim and reach near the ovum to fertilize it. So if it has to swim and reach there, it requires energy. And if it requires energy, it requires nourishment. And we have already seen that the nourishment is provided by the semen. Which is produced by the two glands, the seminal vesicle and the prostate gland. Okay, students. So with this, we have completed the different parts of the male reproductive system. I hope all of you have understood the parts, that is testis, the scrotum, the vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, penis and urethra. Okay, you may have a question in your mind, why am I not talking about the bladder and the ureter? The bladder and the ureter is a part of the excretory system. Only to show that it is connected to the urethra, we are just highlighting the bladder and ureters. Is it clear? Now we will look into the next part. And the next part, students, we are going to study about the male gamete. Now the male gamete is called as the sperm. See, this is the structure of the sperm. This is the tail of the sperm by which it is going to locomote. And as I told you, it will get the nourishment from the semen. Okay, this head contains the nucleus by which it will fuse with the female gamete, that is the ovum. Okay. Sperm. The sperms are tiny bodies that consist of mainly the genetic material. Where is the genetic material present? As I told you, the genetic material is present in the nucleus. Okay. Genetic material and a long tail that helps them to move towards the female germ cell. All of you know that female germ cell is in another word for female gamete or the ovum. So students, that marks the end of the male reproductive system with a note on the male gamete. Now it's time for your assignment questions. So let's look into the assignment here. Write short notes on testis. You will describe the testis. There are a pair of testis. It is present in the scrotum. And then you will explain that how the temperature has to be maintained lower than that of the body temperature. Then you will write the function, that is production of sperm as well as testosterone, which controls the secondary sexual characters. Then is the urethra. Urethra, you will write, it is a common passage for what? Urine as well as semen. So it is a part of your excretory system as well as reproductive system. Okay. State the function of vas deferens. All of you know the function of vas deferens. It will help in the transport of sperms from the testis to that of the urethra, and it will be released out to the outside by means of urethra. Next is seminal vesicle and prostate gland. You know the seminal vesicle and the prostate gland is responsible for producing the male reproductive fluid, which is called as the semen. The semen provides nourishment to the sperm. By taking up nourishment, the mobility of the sperm will be increased so that it can easily reach the ovum and fertilize it. Okay. So students, that marks the end of part 5. So we have completed with the male reproductive system as well as the male gamete, that is the sperm. So that's all for today. Thank you.